Hello YouTubers, Troz here, back playing some more Infinifactory. Let's take a look at the puzzles. We're here in Production Zone 2, and we have drone maintenance, and hopefully we'll also get to Furnished Studio Apartment in this episode. I have a few more friends on my friend list here, so let's see how we can do. Create a new solution. Alright, looks like we have a kind of busted up tank here. And we need to fix it, making a new barrel and replacing the I tend to think of it as a sensor block because it has those little antennas. Actually get a look inside it. So maybe it is some sort of radar or a computer or who knows what. Alright, well, first things first, we obviously have to take the barrel off. And I did this differently in my original playthrough, but I've since learned of a better way of doing it. Actually, let's move that back here. And switch that to a pusher. Change that to an eviscerator. Basically, that's not what we want to do, but that's close to what we want to do. We want to have the eviscerator be pulled back just before this block, but only for one cycle, so it extends again and then hits that block. And I'm not entirely sure how to do that. But I'm going to try some stuff. I know it can be done. I've seen someone else's well, not really video, but this game can output animated GIFs. I've seen an animated GIF where it is done. So just keep things separate. I am going to put a little loop here. Let's go the other way around. And yeah, I think this will actually work. It will be a little bigger than I would want, but basically we're going to put a block here and it will sit here. This will get triggered, which will push the block over here, and then we can put a sensor either here or over here to adjust the delay. I'm going to put it here to start, and then this will no, it's not what I... So let's see how this works. We can move where this sensor is and move where that sensor is to adjust things. And basically, this will trigger once. That's what this mechanism is for. So when we first start seeing the treads here, when we start up, this block will get pushed onto here. When we first start seeing the treads, this will extend and stay extended, but the block will keep moving past this sensor, so we're not constantly triggering this. And then only once the treads have passed, will this turn off? The pusher will retract, and then this will reset. So let's see if this works like I'd like it to. Yes, but not in the correct position. So let's try moving that there. Again, almost. All right. Really? Let's turn that down. Five. All right. That was really close to what we wanted, but we want it one sooner. There we go. That is exactly what we want. Yeah, sorry about that. I just wanted to see this work one more time. So it seems that it still cuts on the cycle that is moving back and on the cycle that's moving forward. So we need it 3. So we move it back, which it still cuts, then we hold it back. And so it misses there, and then it only extends for 2. Yeah, I'm not even sure. Because if it extended 1 earlier, it would push into this block space. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get rid of all of that, and then click Area Select. And, well, that's... Alright, that did work. Wasn't sure if you could actually move stuff that way. And, I missed these down here, so we'll move them now. 1, 2. And then we'll just put these support blocks back. And that should still work. It should just be a little more compact. Okay, that gets rid of everything. How do these come out? Great, that's pretty much exactly what we want. We'll have them come out like that. That should weld them all up together. We'll have it come out once more. turn. And come like that. And let's see, again we'll put a blocker, so that should hold. Yeah, just like that. And we're actually, I think, getting close to the end for this one. So one to pull back, one, and one, two, one to pull back, then 1, 2, 3, 4 to drop. So we need 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where I think the sensor should go. We will see in just a moment if I'm guessing correctly or if I'm one off. And I was one off. Actually, I was one too early. Alright, that went on nicely. I basically want to do the same thing for these other blocks. Problem is, I don't think it's gonna work. At least not where it was. I might need to put one extra welder at the bottom. I can't put those blocks right here because they mess up with the turning. I could maybe move the turning one back, but change that. Problem is, we need a second one to push it forward. Six, 5, 4, that looks down. So that gets that in place. That's in place. That's not working, and I don't think that's going to work. Let's try something else. think that may be too early. Yeah, it's way too early. I'm wondering even if it's the right timing. Will it work, or will we need to delay? If we might need to delay the whole tank, whatever it is, by having a blocker that gets pulled in. But let's just try that. It's right in front. I'm basically trying to see if I can hit it on top, if that would work. Yeah, it doesn't fall into place. Alright. So that stops there. Don't actually need that then. So 2 in front of that. 1, 2. Changing that type. And we're going to put a sensor there. So this should detect when that is welded and then retract this. This can move along. This will then try to extend but won't, because that block is there and the tank will be in the way. So it just holds them momentarily. And I think that's it. That should do us. And, well, you can see that's 204. And we're slightly big on the footprint. And slightly big on the block score. Let's play this again and see what we can do here. That will reduce the block score a bit and the footprint a bit. We could probably reduce this a little bit more, but I really don't want to touch that. And you know what? We're gonna I'm going to put the input rate up to 4. Well, that's not good. Put a block there. That wasn't actually good at all. In order to have the rotate work properly, we need an extra space. Four looks like it's too fast for us. 3 hopefully will work. We got 1 block stuck there, but that's fine. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not causing problems. And this is just enough space. Alright, we're down to 123. Not quite the 114 here. But we have a much smaller block score than Electroly and smaller footprint. I could probably work on this more to get it down a little more, but I think we're going to leave that as is. Let's take a quick look at Furnished Studio Apartment. Hey, that's not a furnished studio apartment. That looks like our cell. Okay. Well, we have a failure log here, and actually, let me forget about that. Let's turn that on.
Yes! It's working! This practically makes up for the whole alien abduction thing. What? What do you mean this isn't right? It's exactly the same! Look at it! It's identical! You stupid piece of crap! Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good. This would make a terrible video game.
Really? I think it actually makes a pretty good video game. The interesting about this one, there's a lot of vertical space, but you really don't need to use it. So we got to get the bed and this sink thing in the right spot. Bed is 3. So let's try that. Of course, that's 1 up too high. It's there in the right spot, and then when the next bunch comes along, it'll get pushed off. The hard part is this monitor TV thing is 2 blocks thick, and we have to get it in the hole here. And that turns out to be a little tricky. It's also... Yes, it's also 3 blocks. And, let's see. Actually, I think that... No, maybe that was right. And there we go. And it gets pushed out again. So that was 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Two, 3, 4, and we'll have this come one forward. Yeah, so the tricky part is now we have to get this welded onto here without really blocking the path. This should come out to there, I think. Alright, so let's pause it here. So we need to weld these together because they're not welded right now. But we can't... If we weld it here, we'd have to move these somehow. Move it like this way and then move it back, and that would waste cycles. You know, if we had a welder here. We can't put welders here because the wall came that way. I'm thinking we may be able to get a little tricky. We want right here. Let's stop this. So that will be along the side of the floor. Now, most of the time you see welders either vertically, like this, or horizontally, but that's not the only configuration welders work in. Let's... This will actually weld. We have the floor coming this way, it'll hit this beam, that's not a problem. We have the wall coming this way, it'll hit this beam, so that's not a problem. Why do I have a pusher here? Well, we want to get this thing moving as soon as it's all welded. So, I'm going to put a sensor here, and that should cause this block and this welder to be pushed, which will push the wall, which would then be welded to the floor along one spot, at which point it will hit there and will be able to continue on its way. I think this is a solution, and I think it's a decently fast solution once we put the cycle rate up. let's watch. There we go. All this gets moved along, and as soon as that gets welded, it gets pushed and grabs on that conveyor and goes out. Let's just speed this up a little bit. Not bad, but we haven't turned up the speed yet. Little extra footprint. One extra block. Let's play again. Where can we remove some blocks? Can't really do it there. If that was 3 in a row, I could remove the middle one, but it's not. Yeah, I'm not seeing where we could remove a block at the moment. What we can do, though, is turn up the input rate. We're not going to work at max. Let's start off at 10. I don't think we can go much above 10 because the bed is basically timed perfect. Maybe if we pulled the bed over and dropped it here and welded it, we could turn up to 11 or maybe 12, but 120 is not bad. And let's see, if I turned it up to 11, I think we're gonna miss the bed. Yeah. And then let's hit copy real quick. We're going to just going to try putting the bed here. See, that is working for 11. Let's see if it works any faster. It'll probably do 12. But at this point, the push mechanism isn't even necessary. Push mechanism isn't necessary, so let's get rid of it. And we're down to 100. And that's how you optimize. Where block score is a little bit bigger now. But we can optimize that too, can't we? We did get rid of those, but we still have blocks here that we can do every other one. What happened? Well, that happened. Other way around. That there. There we go. The bed will line up correctly now. There we go. And we're back to 28. Which is pretty good. Although our footprint score is a block bigger. And let's look at footprint. Yeah, our footprint's only bigger because we have this coming out. Maybe we could move this over, this whole thing somehow, but yeah. I don't really think so. Alright, and this is getting a little long, but we did complete those two, so we can do the performance review now for Production Zone 2. Hey guys. You guys look like you have some nice food there. Oh, it's a chicken. Can I keep it? No, you want me to eat? I usually like my food cooked. I could keep it and just eat the eggs. No? Okay. Yeah, well, thanks for that. Alright. Oh, are you giving me more pellets too? Okay. Well, that was this episode of Infinifactory. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.